Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, Lesson 1, Prepositions and Directions.
Welcome back, friends, to MyZone Online School. My name is Teacher Hetty, and our theme for this lesson is wild animals. Now let's quickly sanitize our hands. Rub it all around and between your fingers. Well, that's good. Now let's also remember to keep a social distance. Our lesson for today is about the letters Y, Z, and Q. Friends, let's turn to page 11 in our workbook. Wow, who is that? That's Yo-Yo Man. In the alphabet we would say Y, and in phonetics we would say Y. It's the Y sound. Now let's look at things that starts with Y. I have a yellow truck. Yellow, Y. I have a yellow triangle. Y. Let's think about other things that also comes in yellow. Think about a yellow sunflower. Think about the sun when you draw it on your pictures. A yellow sun. Oh, and what do I have here? I have a yo-yo man. And what did I do with this yo-yo man? I took a yellow yarn and I threaded it through Y. A yellow yarn, Y, and I threaded it through Y. Now this is a fun exercise that you can do at home. You make your own little yo-yo man, your own little Y, and you can yarn it through, making your own little pattern with a yellow yarn. Now let's look at the pattern. Very nice. And it's a good and relaxing exercise. Let's see how you should do this exercise on your page. You start at the top of Yo-Yo Man, where they indicate with a thick black dot. And you trace all the way down, and you stop. And then you lift up your pencil, and you start on the other side, and you move straight down, tracing your Y. I hope you enjoyed that. I have a riddle for you, and I would like to know, what is black and white? It's not an old TV, and it's a type of animal, and it starts with the letter Z. I wonder what that is. Yes, you guessed it right. It's a zebra. It's a zebra. Let me quickly tell you a lovely poem about a zebra. Run, zebra, run. Zebra, zebra, black and white. Early morning, dark of night. Beware the mighty lions bite. Run, run with all your might. Away, away, get out of sight. I hope you enjoyed that poem. Let's take a quick look on our page 12 of our workbook. What do they want us to do there? Oh, they say we must draw the stripes of the zebra. Now, if you take a look at my picture, you'll see how to draw the black and white stripes of the zebra. But what sound does zebra make? In alphabet, it is a Z, but in phonics, it is Z. Z for zipper, Z. Z for zebra, Z for zoo, and Z for zero. And how would we make a Z? Well, it's very simple. You can take your pencil, and on your page, you'll find some blocks, and you write the Z in your blocks. Let's take a look. You start, and you move right across the line, a skew line in the middle, and a straight line again. Remember, uppercase Z and lowercase z, both look the same. The one is just a little bit bigger than the other. Enjoy. On page 13 in your workbook is a very, very nice exercise. All you need to do is enjoy some coloring, and if you would like to have some fun, you can even take some white paint and black paint and make a lot of stripes on your zebra, on your Z. Okay, so now let's turn to page 14 in our workbook. And what sound do we have here? Wow, that's a kwa, a kwa. Let's take a quick look at the kwa. What did I just say? A quick look at the kwa. If you look carefully at it, it's not an easy letter to make. But if you are very smart, you'll see that the lowercase kwa is almost like an Annie apple if you close it. And then you just put a little leg that kicks out, and you have a kwa. What sound does that make? It says kwa in phonics, and it says Q in the alphabet. Let's trace the kwa. We start at the black dot, and we go around the apple this way, and we add a line, and we give him a kick. Let's think about things that starts with kwa. What about the name Quentin? Or what about a quilt? Do you know what is a quilt? It is a lovely blanket made of different types of material. Enjoy working on page 14, and if you see anything with kwa, you can cut it out and paste it on your page. Friends, I hope you enjoyed our lesson today. Let's quickly sanitize again. Spray our sanitizer, rub it on our hands, all over our hands and between our fingers. And let's remember to keep a social distance. Well, friends, let's call on Zoe to say goodbye. Zoe!
Let's talk about the coronavirus outbreak here in Africa. How do you get people to regularly wash their hands when water is scarce? How do you get people to work from home when majority of Africans work in the informal sector?
People are dying and suffering.
More importantly, how do you get a vibrant and dynamic continent to stop in its tracks? Welcome to The Breakdown, BBC Africa's COVID-19 special program, helping you make sense of the crisis.
Explanation of symbols on worksheets are as follows. Use coloring crayons to color the picture. Use your finger to follow the track or line or show the correct picture. Use a coloring crayon to draw a line or write a number or sound. Look at the picture and say the number or sound out loud. Use a scissors to cut on the dotted line. Look at the picture. Use these symbols for the lesson of the day, which will be allocated at the top right side of each page. For example, Lesson 1, Prepositions and Directions.
Welcome back, friends, to MyZone Online School. My name is Teacher Hetty, and our theme for this lesson is wild animals. Now let's quickly sanitize, and we use our sanitizer, spray it on our hands, all over our hands and between our fingers. And let's remember to keep a social distance. Our lesson for today is all about differences and directions. Friends, let's quickly play a game. Simon says, touch your left ear. Touch your left ear. Simon says, touch your right ear. Okay. So now let's turn to page 15 in our workbook. Let's take a quick look there. What is happening with all those animals there? Let's find the animal that's right of the elephant, on the right side of the elephant. Well, I would like to tell you, but you have to figure that one out for yourself. So color the animal right of the elephant green. And keep in mind which animal is a green kind of animal. And color the elephant brown. Remember your left side and your right side. On page 16 of our workbook, we can take a careful look at what's going on there. Now, if we have to identify differences, let's take a quick look at my board before we continue on the page. Well, here I have an example for you of differences that can be easily identified. I have two animals and I have a shape. Now, let's think about it a little bit. Does a shape fit with animals? Surely it doesn't fit with animals. So the different one would be the shape. The animals fit and the shape does not fit. Now let's turn to the page again. Let's look at the insects. Both have 6 legs and the fish has fins. Which one does not fit? At the second one, if you take a good look at it, 2 of them are animals, one an amphibian and the other is a plant. Which one would not fit there? A tree, actually, sorry. And let's quickly take a look at the birds and the lion. Well, 2 of them have feathers and they can sit on a branch, whilst the other one have a big mane of hair. And the last one, 2 of them live in the water, whilst the other one lives running around on land. So keep that in mind when you need to find the different one. Enjoy the exercise. Now remember, we said we're doing something on differences and directions. Now let's quickly turn to page 17 because I would like you to take a look at that. Now some of the lions are walking one way and the other one is walking another way. Same with the bunnies and same with the hippos. Now I have a good example for you right here on my board. Let's take a quick look. If we look at the direction that the bunnies are going, they are going that direction. Now, the hippo is probably walking in the water this direction, coming towards me. So, the bunnies are going that direction, the hippo is coming this direction. So, they are going left and the hippo is coming right. So, let's look at page 17 again. And on page 17, it's very clear to see which one is going in the other direction. And all you need to do is color the one that is going in the different direction. I hope you enjoy this exercise, and if you like to color the rest of the animals, feel free to do so. Well, friends, today we learned a lot about wild animals. Now, I would like you to turn to page 18 of your workbook. Let's take a quick look at that. Different wild animals love to eat different kinds of food. Let's take a look at the baboon. What would the baboon like to eat? Yes, maybe bananas. Then you join the baboon with the bananas. And a giraffe? Well, they have a very long neck, and they would like to eat all the berries up in the tree. Join the giraffe with the berries. And the meerkat? Yes, you're right. They like to dig in all kinds of holes to find insects to eat. So join the meerkat with the insects. And yes, you guessed it right. The wolf would eat the sheep. So join the two. I hope you enjoyed the exercise. And I hope you enjoyed our lesson for today. Well, let's quickly sanitize. We rub the sanitizer on our hands and all over our hands and between our fingers. And let's remember to keep a social distance. And friends, let's call Zoe to say goodbye. Bye.
Code every beat for you, every beat for God, right? Let's go. Guys, let's go. Let's go. Come look inside my window. Do you see exactly what I see, dog? How you run away from this vibe, though? When all you try to do is impact and save the world with one good book. Look, have you ever wished that you wasn't in the picture? Never on that poster, never advertised the way you always poster. Missing in action, skip the recognition, but never could prevent that. Never had a choice there, never did intend that. Never your intention, never to impress them. I wish I could change that. Shows never been about me, how could I avoid this? Off of these stages, people giving praises, how could you play that? I face the crowd, then they giving me an encore. When I tell them no, they never do respect that. Perspective twisted, my spaghetti is better. I'm a child by blood, not relation. Son of God, so these praises go up. They never understand, I'm sorta like a Rubik's. Figure me out, still remain clueless. This platform, I ain't even packing. Don't know my friends, cause some come around me to get what they want. Leave me in a corner, the search for fame. My friends trying to gain.
This is my story, this is how it goes. Every time I live it out just for my foes. Get pushed over, get knocked down. God reminds me about the reason of my song. Eyes open to the sky, limits not so high. Reminder of the reason why. Again, Lord, again. I'll sing the song until the end.
India's Ranthambore Reserve in Rajasthan is home to the rare Bengal tigers. Every year, John Isaac, an Indian-born photographer, travels from New York City to document the lives of these majestic animals.
In the last 10 years, I think my interest has grown tenfold, and I'm very particular about the survival of the tigers.
His goal is to make sure that people everywhere know about the grave danger Bengal tigers face: extinction. John holds seminars and photographic exhibitions from his visits to Ranthambore to raise awareness of the plight of these tigers. He's currently working on a book to document their dilemma due to an increasing human population encroaching on their territory. According to John and wildlife experts, each tiger needs as much as 9 square kilometers to survive, just under 4 square miles. The relationship between tigers and people has always been difficult, but now, with much less territory to roam, tigers often wander into human settlements.
The conflict between the villagers and the tigers has always been there. And then government tries to compensate. If a tiger kills a goat or a cow, they pay a certain amount to the villagers.
In the past, tigers used migration corridors or routes followed by wildlife for travel between summer and winter habitats. Now these pathways have been taken over by people who use them as living quarters and to reap firewood.
We are trying to work with the communities living around and trying to reduce their forest dependency so that we can conserve this corridor patch for the smooth and easy movement of tigers.
Jamuna Devi, a farmer, lives near one of the migratory corridors. She used to depend on the forest for grazing pastures. Now, thanks to a World Wildlife Fund initiative, Jamuna no longer needs to rely on the forest for her family's survival. The secret? Introducing new alternative crops closer to her home.
गई साल बोया हमने खुद ने और ये तो अभी ये गई साल बोया है ये आया होया कांदा है हम 25 रोज को तो तारीख को तो बोया ही है और रोज में अंतर तो आगा भूलने लगा.
The success of this project has led to even more changes. Jamuna decided to plant fodder for her cattle on her excess land to further preserve the habitat of the tigers. She has also switched to cooking gas so that she doesn't have to collect forest wood for fuel.
जंगल में सब दुनिया ने जब छोड़ दिया तो सब बे होगी कोई काम नहीं करा लकड़ी को भी नहीं करा जंगल में जाने से भी परेशान है दुनिया गैस भेज दिया सबन के घर घर में वे सभी सिलेंडर पकड़ते हैं और रुपया को कोई समझते ही नहीं है अब भीतर भरा लावा.
Climate change also has a direct impact on the habitat of tigers.
The last 2 or 3 years, they say, there's been a drought. The rains have not been regular.
Climate change is a serious problem in this country, even it's in the continent. So keeping these forest areas alive and protected is the only solution. This year we have raised a nursery of 10,000 saplings. Forest department have shown their interest. They bought around 2,000, 3,000 saplings.
The idea is to plant new trees to replace those lost to severe weather conditions and human activity. Poaching used to be a major threat to Bengal tigers. But thankfully, the number of big cats killed by poachers has plummeted due to measures implemented by law enforcement agencies, resulting in less demand for tiger products. Especially the introduction of camera traps in digital apps, which automatically take photos of moving tigers and suspicious persons moving around in the forest.
Every time I hear something like that, I feel so good, in some ways, some things are working. And so this is what drives me to come and do this. In my lifetime,